Test.
Oh, yeah, we're back.
I'm back on the record. I need an adjournment from executive session.
Mayor, I'd move that we adjourn from executive session.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Vetter?
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Homan?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras?
Aye.
Next is motion to approve the business agenda.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to amend the business agenda. I had requested city staff create a resolution regarding the decision by the fire training committee. And so I would like to amend the business agenda to add resolution R-105-25 to the end of new business.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
All right. Moved and seconded to put resolution number R-105-25. Can I have a roll call?
Commissioner Vetter?
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Homan?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras?
Aye.
Okay. Then we are to the business agenda, the rules of conduct for the commission meetings. And can I have a motion to approve the business agenda?
Mayor, I'd move that we approve the business agenda as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the business agenda as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Next is the consent agenda.
Approval of the minutes from September 2nd, 2025 regular city commission meeting and the proclamation for the National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week, September 15th through 19th, 2025.
I would like to read the National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week proclamation. Whereas more than 43 million Americans can't read or write at the most basic level, while 62.7 million lack basic math skills, as well as the credentials and skills necessary to succeed in post-secondary education. And whereas every year, 1 in 3 young adults drop out of high school, and whereas American Action Forum estimates that America is short an estimated 7.5 million private sector workers across all skill levels. And whereas adult education programs contribute to solving these challenges by helping Americans move along the continuum in their educational journey to achieve basic skills and get prepared for careers in college. And whereas adult education programs in high school and adult schools, community colleges, and community centers offer low-cost, high-value programs that upgrade the skill set of our citizens. And whereas our City of Piqua celebrates Adult Education and Family Literacy Week as a proud participant in the National Educate and Elevate campaign, which helps our citizens learn about all of their adult education options to attain their professional and personal goals. Now, therefore, I, Chris Lee, Mayor, proclaim September 15th through the 19th, 2025 as Adult Literacy Week in the City of Piqua. And with that read, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move the approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next on to old business, and that would be ordinance number O-9-25, a third reading.
An ordinance enacting and adopting a supplement to the Code of Ordinances for the City of Piqua.
Good evening, Commissioners. This was brought before you previously as an emergency. That language has been removed. This is a housekeeping matter that has been done previously that has not been done for a while, and we were bringing this up to code. There is a typo or an omission from the ordinance that needs to be amended. In the ordinances that are contained in the exhibits, it references 2024 S-72 supplements. that is not referenced in the ordinance itself. And so I would ask to amend the first whereas section to the very last sentence where it says referred to as 2024 S-72 and 2025 S-73, and also in section 1, where it says reference 2020, it should say 2024 S-72 and 2025 S-73.
Can I have a motion for the amendment?
So moved.
And seconded?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner Simmons, for pointing that out, and Steve Yenny, who pointed it out
That's
to you.
essentially- thank you,
I
Steve.
I wanted to give him credit, so. With that said, any questions on ordinance number O-9-25 from commission? There is one from Kim Heisler.
I would strongly suggest having you guys write something in, whether it be in the ordinance or whatever, to have this updated every 6 months instead of yearly. It was in the past done every 6 months, and for the last 3 years, like, or more, I'm not sure how long, it hasn't been updated. And as it is right now, if this passes right now, the local ordinances are already 6 months behind, and the state ordinances are like 14 months behind. So I'd strongly suggest if you guys could make this part of the regular thing to try to keep it as up-to-date as possible, because from citizens on the outside, it's really important to know where to go for the right information.
Thank you. Law Director, ma'am, Ms. Steltner. How is it possible how often do you plan on doing the update?
It's previously been done yearly. I haven't seen that it's been done every 6 months, but I haven't looked at it that
Do
closely.
you have a plan to do it yearly?
Yes, that was my plan going forward. I know that the state and the local legislation, it doesn't update immediately, even at the American legal publishing level. So that's why it's typically done yearly, because then it catches us up to whatever they have at that moment.
Can we amend this to say that we will do it yearly then?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem with that, since that,
No, I mean, it's always been done yearly before. Mhm.
6
but
months
we're
ago.
behind?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, would it be possible to have, since we're already 6 months behind, say at the end of the year, have this done for, and make it a year-end house cleaning thing?
That sounds good to me.
Works for me.
So make a motion to amend the,
So, Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion that we, or move that we add in language in here to make this where we do it annually in December, every year, starting this December with 2025, what we don't have caught up.
I would second that. And since it's moved and seconded to amend this so that it's done yearly at the end of the year, in December.
How specific in our language do we need to be as, in making amendments? Do we need to, not that I'm opposing it, I'm just wondering, do we need to give a more specific wording for amending it to do that?
It would be helpful to have the language so that we can analyze it.
Okay, what would you like?
I'd say probably a new section 3, current section 3 would become section 4. New section 3 would include some sort of language that prior to the close of the calendar year, that an update be made.
I think that's sufficient.
Okay,
Do we need an ordinance to do that next update, or is that just part and parcel?
no, it's
of
an
this one?
amendment to this.
Yeah.
No, I meant for, like, when this comes back and gets updated, is that gonna be through ordinance, or does that just done as a resolution, or did it just get done as a matter of course with this?
Mayor,
It's always done as an ordinance.
It would require another ordinance?
Yes.
Okay, so if we set that ordinance up to go through to come in at the second meeting in November, that gives us 3 readings, and it will pass the end of December. So so it introduced, second meeting in November, and then passed at the end of the year. Would that be fair?
So what are we doing with this one then?
If you give me another few seconds here, Mayor, I'm writing out something I
figured.
think shall work. All right. In conjunction with Commissioner Simmons, I would move to amend ordinance O-9-25 such that section 3 then becomes section 4, and that we add in a new section 3, which reads, future updates to the American Legal Publishing Corporation of Cincinnati shall occur yearly prior to the close of each calendar year and conducted each year thereafter.
Commissioners, before you vote, I would like to add that if you do it at the end of the year, it won't encompass all of the updates for that year. It has typically always been done in February or March so that it encompasses the year before. And typically it's been passed as an emergency then so that it's updating it for the prior year, just so that you know before you.
Should we maybe have it be by February of the following year that the entire previous calendar year has been made updated?
As long as American Legal Publishing is up to date, then yes, we would be able to update it then. I think that would potentially give them enough time, but I'm assuming that's why it was always done a little bit later.
March?
Yeah, we can try.
Alrighty.
And then that.
So, section 3, as amended, would then read, future updates to American Legal Publishing shall occur no later than March to encompass the previous year and to occur each year thereafter.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Are you?
Right,
The
as long as we introduce it early enough to the point where we don't have to do it, that we want to get away from emergency.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that gives a full,
Yeah.
almost 90 days to get
Perfect.
in.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well,
I withdraw my original motion in favor of this.
Okay. Now make a motion.
So moved. Do you need me to repeat that?
And thank you.
Yeah. So future updates to American Legal Publishing of Cincinnati shall occur once yearly, no later than March, to include updates from the prior calendar year, and shall occur every year thereafter.
I'll second that. For the amendment to the ordinance, on that amendment, I need a roll call.
Commissioner Vetter?
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Holman?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras?
Aye.
All right.
I believe we didn't call for it specifically, but I would imagine that Commissioner Simmons would have offered a second for that. I don't know if we got a formal
I
second.
did get a second.
Did you? Okay.
I seconded.
He seconded.
I appreciate that. Alrighty. So we'll have one now, and then the next one will be in March, and then it'll be every March thereafter.
All right, passing the motion on the ordinance number O-9-25, third reading as amended. All those, or I need a roll call.
Well, Mayor, I would motion that we adopt ordinance O-9-25 as amended.
Thank you.
There you go.
Second.
Ready? Commissioner Vetter?
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Holman?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras?
Aye.
Great. Phew.
Strike that from the minutes, eh?
Yeah. Next up is ordinance number O-11-25.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 32, Boards and Commissions.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is the third reading on this ordinance, which, as you'll recall, we discussed previously that this is updating some code language in regards to boards and committees, removing outdated language, including the section regarding the Health Board, and to combine the Energy Board with the Utility Board.
Any questions from commission?
Mr. Mayor, I just have a statement. I believe during our last meeting, during the reading of this ordinance, that we had asked for, and it was then included in this staff report, the red line of what was staying and going. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and say thank you for including that.
Okay. 2 public comment cards, Soleil, Larkson. State your name, please.
My name is Soleil Larkson, and on this particular topic, boards and commissions, in combining boards or making them separate or any of that, I don't really care. What I care about is the past performance, just even this afternoon, where public is present at records retention and they are not really given public comment time. They're not allowed to speak. Same thing with the utility board over the last 2 meetings. Not allowed to speak, no public comment on very important issues to the community. In tonight's agenda packet, it's very clear that the discussion that is happening between the city members are that they don't want to hear from the people. It's an unnecessary delay. They don't want to hear what we have to say. They certainly don't expect or respect that we have anything of value to contribute, and we'll just slow them down. This is unacceptable. This is unconscionable. This is disgusting. This is pathetic. This is an attitude that needs adjustment. It needs alignment. If they're going to go around and say that they're public servants, they need to start acting like it. If all they care about is the money that they are paid out of our paychecks, the citizens' paychecks. Citizens pay their utility bills. Citizens pay for every bit of the salary that they get, every last dime of it, every last dime. If they're not going to take their constitutional training, if they're not going to take their First Amendment free speech training, if you guys aren't going to take your constitutional training, if those things aren't going to happen, where are we? I'm asking who's running this meeting, because typically this meeting has been run by the city, and this is supposed to be run by you guys, you 5, right there. You're supposed to be informing the people, making sure that they're so well informed that they agree with you or that they disagree violently because they so understand the issue. And I don't mean violence as in hitting or any of that kind of stuff, but emphatically disagreeing. When these 123-page packets are put out 24 hours to 48 hours when they've been on the agenda, and this is the third reading, I got to ask, are you kidding me? If you guys hadn't asked the last time to see the wording of what's going to change, this wouldn't even have been included in the third reading. This is either completely negligent on the city's part, or it's covert. And it's meant to be a last minute, let's slam it in, one and done. This is not okay. And the fact that you guys have sat there month after month, week after week, allowing it, encouraging it, and supporting it, when you 5 represent the only legislative body, and you all laughed and mocked at me last time because Holman thought he said something funny. It wasn't funny to me. You guys are the only legislative body in this room. And yet, do any of you guys actually prepare resolutions or ordinances? Oh, no. That's the city personnel. Yeah. And then you guys read it over, and maybe you agree, Maybe you didn't really understand it. Maybe you did. I don't know. But when you don't communicate things in a way that the people understand, that's not okay. You're not doing your job. You're not keeping your oath, and you're not doing your job. This is unacceptable to the people, and it's why they're upset, and you're going to get more and more lawsuits until all of you are gone. And all of them. People will not stop when tyranny has come into play. The people will not stop. If you think that because they're not showing up, nothing's happening, you're delusional. We're getting turned down by the city manager to just have a simple records request on the AM Legal email. He said, oh no, that's discovery. We even had the exact email address. It's going to be one a year. Oh, that's too much to ask for the city manager to do his job and do a public records request. Wow, that's so lame. Just like the battery burning video that he wouldn't release. Pretty lame. And you guys are like, oh, it's okay, let's pass another ordinance. Let's give the lawless people more opportunity to ruin the city. Let's do that. How about we do that? How about not a single one of you goes home and says, Lord God Almighty,
Your time is up. Thank you.
grant me the peace to deal with what is happening.
Thank you.
City manager, are board positions paid positions?
They are not.
What I think's not funny is talking about violent disagreement. I think you did say what you meant there, and I think you caught yourself. And I don't think that's funny at all.
Kim Heisler.
I see exactly what she's talking about, and I'm pretty sure she didn't mean violent. We have to speak violently for you guys to actually hear things. Do you get that? We don't have to like hit you in the head. We have to talk louder than we have before for you guys to even look up, to even make eye contact. When you guys go home and talk to your wife or your kids or significant other or even friend, how do you like when you go to talk to them and they're like this? Oh, I'm sorry, were you talking to me? Oh, I'm sorry, could you repeat that again because I wasn't listening? So we have to act differently to get you guys' attention, for you guys to realize. The last time I saw the organizational chart, because you guys don't know what flow chart means, organizational chart is the people are at the top. It doesn't seem at all like when we, why do we even have this meeting? It's not for us. It doesn't seem like, because you don't answer us. You hear us, you've got ears, but you never take action. It's like, oh, okay, thank you. Okay, let's pass it. Hardly any discussion. You guys have discussions with the city manager, apparently 2 at a time, or whatever. It could be done one time where everybody's getting the same message, but you guys are getting maybe the same message, maybe not. But how are you getting that information to the people to know really what's happening? You certainly don't give us any information here because maybe you've already asked all your questions and out there. And you don't like when we ask questions, and now you hardly ever answer them and you defer, and then we have to do a document request just to get minutes that were approved. It's way upside down and not right. You guys need to realize that you need to be listening to us. We're the ones that pay you guys. Absolutely. And it's very clear if anybody at home wants to take a look at the agenda packet, if you take a look at pages, let me get it right, I don't want to be wrong. Agenda packet pages 48 and 49, as Soleil mentioned earlier. The comments that you guys have, that we just got to see for the first time, and it was probably an accident that it was actually in there at all. If the public are allowed to attend, will they be allowed to make public comments? I suggest not. Allow them to speak before, to keep the comments off the official record. That's nice. That makes me feel really terrible to be a part of this community where you guys are perfectly okay with that, where we're supposed to be at the top. Someone else says, I don't think we should allow public comment. Well, that's fine with me, says someone else. I recommend we don't allow public comment if it's otherwise required, unless it's otherwise required. It's unacceptable. I mean, if you don't have the public as a part of the process, why do we have this meeting? I don't get it. Also, another comment was, if we do, once again, it could open us up to early preview on preview if the public is allowed to attend the meetings. Oh, wow. Maybe we'll find out what's going to happen in the future instead of only 24 hours ahead of time if we're lucky. I mean, it's unacceptable. And my question is, where can I find the language on how the meetings are actually conducted? Because it says they're all to be uniform now. Please answer that, and
Thank
how
you.
the public speaks, not speaks, how you guys, where we find that, because this is the third reading of the boards and commissions. It changes that language, but where's our language?
All right,
as to where
your
we're-
time is up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please have that, answer that for me now, if you could.
I find it so interesting that you said that you didn't think that she meant violent opposition, and then you followed that up with a statement that you felt the need to speak violently. I'm so glad that the
What
TriCaster
you
is
said.
working, so that everyone at home can see exactly what kind of people you are.
Where can she find the language that she was talking about? Have a seat, sit down, or I'll ask you to leave. You are done on this topic. You can come back up on the next. Have a seat. Excuse me. No, he can comment afterwards. He's allowed to. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm going to ask you to be quiet. You're being warned. Where can she find the language that she's talking about?
So we've been working on each of the committee's rules, and so they'll adopt the set of rules that are going to be uniform across all the bodies. And this is an outcome of what we've been experiencing through here and some of the litigation we've been through. And so in order to manage the meetings and make sure that public comment is available but also uniform, we will have the rules put together. They'll be adopted by each of the committees.
Excuse me. No comment, please. No, no, no. We'll let you know. You're not supposed to be talking from back there. All right?
Mayor, I would, if there's no other comment, I would move that we adopt ordinance O-11-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded. It's an ordinance. I need a roll call, please.
Commissioner Vedder,
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons,
Aye.
Mayor Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Holman,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras.
Aye.
How are they going to find this out, though? That's the question.
It'll once it gets adopted by each of the boards or committees, it'll become part of the agenda for each of the meetings.
So it'll state on there how they can make public comment and at what time and where.
It's just like our agenda for the meeting this evening.
All right. Next on the agenda, ordinance number O-12-25, a third reading.
An amended ordinance to make appropriations for the city of Piqua, Ohio for the year 2025.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. This is the third reading for this ordinance, and this ordinance amends the appropriations and some of the funds and line items. There was a change since the second reading, and I'll refer you to Section 14. That $150,000 there that was appropriated, we originally had that in capital, and after more consideration of the work being done, that should be in operations and maintenance since we're not going to capitalize it. Also, the sheet that was passed out just before the meeting explains that, and it notates that this was a change from the second reading, and explains what the change was. And I had uploaded that to Civic Plus, but forgot to tell Kim that I'd uploaded the changes, so I apologize for that. I'll take any questions.
Any questions from commissioners?
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yeah.
Jerry, I noticed this in my preparation work, and just asking for a point of clarification on this. In Section 5, it says appropriations in the fire department and appropriations in the police department budget are being reduced to bring into line with estimated revenues. Can you just explain to me where their revenues for the police and fire come from?
Well, in this case, we're talking about the estimated revenues. So when you're looking at what we have to submit to the county for the amended certificate, along with the appropriations, as part of each change in the appropriations and after each appropriation ordinance, and we make sure that the estimated revenue lines up with the estimated appropriations, and that the estimated revenue taken together with the fund balances is enough to cover the appropriations. At the beginning of the year, for the first appropriation ordinance, there were some line items in the police department. Apparently, we didn't have enough estimated for the transfers, and we believe there were encumbrances. So there are some encumbrances that are carried over from the prior year, and those are taken into account to as part of the expenditures to get the unencumbered fund balance. So we discovered that we actually didn't have enough estimated to cover the appropriations, so the appropriations were reduced. It was a minimal amount, but still it had to be brought into under that amount to make sure that that was all in compliance and as it should be.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from commissioners? Kim Eisler.
I believe I had asked this before, Section 1. Maintenance for planning project for future improvements or commission chamber operations. And it was mentioned by Paul Oberdorfer that things like the smoke detector behind the flag needs to be seen. If I'm reading it right, it's like $9,500. I'm just curious as to what other things are actually in that arena, because I'll come swap it out for a lot cheaper, if that's what it's for.
Other things, okay.
And I'd also like to say, Mr. Holman, you were out of line, absolutely out of line to say the things that you said.
Can we stay on topic?
I am on topic.
He's not out of line on this topic. Can we stay on this topic?
And just keep in mind, you guys are allowing that to happen. So not only is he on the hook for it, you guys are also. Also changed from the first reading, I mentioned this also, the second paragraph, the increase in general government operations and maintenance is to pay property taxes for Spring Creek and Washington Townships according to the agreements with those entities. The increase in capital outlay is to fund the Piqua Battery property project and the property acquisition at 123 West Water. I would like for you to elaborate a little bit more on that, because as we are seeing now, anywhere where battery and Piqua is put together should be questioned. So I'd like to know what that Piqua Battery, why it's called that. What is the Piqua Battery property project? And what is the acquisition of 123 West Water? Because I didn't see that anywhere. I want to see, is that the correct address? If you could answer those questions, that would be great. There's at least 3 questions in that. The second one is a significant amount of money, so.
Okay. The first, I'll stand up for him calling you out every time. I'll stand by Tom and his comments. I have no problem with that. Now, getting back to,
Oh, I'd like to, I was
Go ahead.
addressed directly. I would put forward that it's extremely out of line. The week after, it seems that on a national level, the politics is turning towards violence to solve solutions for people to come up to this stand and claim that the only option is violence of any kind, especially based on the lie that we don't listen to you. Immediately after a recommendation for amending an ordinance was put forward, and we immediately created that amendment and adopted it, to come up here and say, well, we're not being listened to, so we're going to have violent opposition and violent speech. And since speech can't be violence, I can only imagine what was meant by that. I think that was incredibly out of line. And I think, again, everyone at home watching can see that.
Mr. City Manager, in section 1 of this, what are the other things that she's, that's a good question. What are the other things that cost $9,500?
So we have, in the chamber, we have to relocate the life safety device that's behind the flag. It's a strobe that has to be able to be seen as well as heard, the fire alarm. Again, I'm not in the weeds on the management of the building, but I can tell you that there are occasions where we have to spend money on equipment in here to keep things running or replace equipment. We've made some repairs. There'll be some improvements made behind the dais before now and the end of the year. That'll be part of our rebranding effort, and so those were all accounted for in that allocation.
In that $9,500?
I'm glad they're moving it, because I didn't even know we had one.
It was behind
Never
the flag. Neither did I.
Fortunately, there's not been a
I
fire.
agree, yeah.
Or a need for defibrillator.
The next, the Piqua Battery property at 123. Why is it called Piqua Battery?
So Piqua Battery is Piqua Battery, where they sell batteries,
Yes.
and it's on the corner of Main
Yes.
Street and Main and Main and Wood.
And I believe it's been there for a very long time.
And so that's an economic development project that we have in motion right now. I don't want to deliberate on the particulars of it, but part of the economic development is to relocate the business into one campus and to proceed with some housing units that are proposed. And the third question was 123 on Water Street. That also is an economic development project. It's the garage next to the Town and Country that we've acquired and control at this time. And so as part of the revitalization of that, the garage will be demoed with state demo grant funds to allow us to have the parking lot and the ingress egress to the parking lot moved, and so that'll all be a part of that redevelopment project. But the first part is using the state fund, the demo fund money that's allocated this year to get that structure down.
Thank you. No other questions from commission? I'll entertain a motion. Ordinance, yeah.
Mayor, I would move that we adopt ordinance O-12-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Will the clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Vedder,
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons,
Aye.
Mayor Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Homan,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is ordinance number O-13-25.
An ordinance authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $2,830,000 of notes in anticipation of bonds for the purpose of paying the costs of construction, acquisition, and equipping of park improvements, facilities, and appurtenances relating thereto, refunding outstanding notes previously issued in anticipation of such bonds, and paying the related costs of issuance thereof, and declaring an emergency.
Mayor and Commissioners, this ordinance is related to our Lock 9 note that we took out in '23 to do the Lock 9 project. So this ordinance will pay down that debt to the sewer fund, $970,000 in principal and approximately $132,000 in interest.
Okay. Soleil Marks.
And the reason we're asking for an emergency is just due to the 10-day waiting period. We're asking that be waived since it'll expire a couple of days before the ordinance will go into effect.
That's understandable. We did the 3 readings, so the emergency part is the waiving of the 10 days. Commissioners have any comments?
Nope.
Soleil Larkson.
You started the time before I even could get up here. That's really interesting. Just cut me off. That's good. Okay. So on this particular one, there was a discussion held at the last meeting on this one, and Mr. DeBras interrupted, so please don't interrupt me this time. So when the note is supposed to be repaid to the other fund and there is not a plan in place, that at best is negligence and at worst malfeasance. When you take government money from one fund and you leave it sit somewhere else and you have no plan for repayment, the fact that 25% or 50% or whatever amount happens to get lucky to get paid off in a period of time is irrelevant. None of us take out a mortgage and expect to not repay it with an actual schedule of repayment. There is no reasonable human being that would say what was said at the last meeting. So when you look at reasonable logic, to not have a plan in place to repay that is absolutely unacceptable. Finance is meant to be defined, clear, and coordinated with a schedule. Financials are supposed to be explicitly understood and being able to tell what is occurring. When you are answered with something like, hey, well, we don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to get lucky. We got lucky. Oh my gosh, we got 50% of it paid off in a short amount of time, and we don't know what we're going to do for the rest. That is unacceptable. For you guys to just be like, yeah, okay, we're good. That's unacceptable. And just for the record, violent speech is any kind of conflict. Most people avoid this direct kind of conversation. Most people won't have this kind of conversation because, as we all know, the truth hurts. The truth is like a sword, and it cuts into all the lies that you have in your body, your heart, and your spirit. And when that occurs, it doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. So it is considered violent speech to tell the truth.
Well, let's tell the truth about this
Yes.
topic that we're talking about.
I
okay?
am. That
Stay on
needed
it.
to be said, and that is on
No,
topic.
this is not on topic.
It is
but
on
keep
topic.
going.
When a reputation is slandered, the person at the next opportunity to correct the record must do so, or silence is acquiescence, and that is not okay when you're addressing grievances. It is very important that you get to say what needs to be said.
Then talk about the grievance of this topic, okay? And you've done that.
Yes, I've been on topic the entire time.
Oh, you haven't, but keep going.
And so a detailed schedule of how that is to be repaid, I would expect you guys to be asking for, because we, the people, are asking for that. We want to know exactly how that Lock 9 fiasco is going to be paid for. We asked, and the people have asked, for the pavilion to be done, and it was only going to be a $2 million investment. Lock 9 was $5 million. They keep saying there's no money to rebuild Hance Pavilion, but oh, there's all this money for Lock 9. I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the let's push it under the rug, let's wait 6 weeks on our desk to get paperwork in so we can have emergencies. I'm really tired of all those lies. All of them. Excuses are lies, because we all have time to do our job. So if things don't get done, it's an excuse, which is a lie. So when the people take their time to come down to these meetings, they're sincere, they want something done, and they're willing to have conflict with you guys to actually get it done. When you're not willing to have conflict and you want to raise a hair against the people because they've actually said something they truly believe in, and you want to get offended, you really should turn in your paycheck, step down, and go back home. A public position is one of fiduciary trust, which means you have to be trustworthy. The rules say, the Sunshine Rules say, the commission is not allowed to say bad things about the people. You need to reread those because of what happened here tonight. Thank you.
Is there a detailed plan to repay the balance?
So the schedule, we don't have an amortization schedule because we have not issued bonds for that.
Yes.
Which is one of our choices. The other choice was to pay off, and we knew that we had quite a bit of money left over from the project and from the grants coming in for the last couple of years to pay large amounts of that debt down. So it would have been unwise really to issue bonds, say, last year or 2 years ago, because we would have had to pay interest, as I explained the last meeting. We would have had to pay interest to bondholders. Currently, we're still paying interest to ourselves. There's no cash leaving the city. That money, next year, we will, the plan is to make transfers from the general fund to start paying that note down. We will have to look at, does it make sense to go ahead and issue bonds, or do we keep making transfers from the general and paying back the sewer fund, which saves us of paying interest to bondholders, or does it make sense to issue bonds and start that process, at which time we would have an amortization schedule.
Sure.
So that is the plan at this time. The plan was to pay down as much as we could and save the interest, and we've been doing that.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, since I was specifically referenced in that.
And you didn't interrupt.
And no, I didn't. And if I did interrupt you at the last meeting, I apologize. However, I will not sit up here and apologize for my statements at the last meeting about giving accommodation and recognizing the city staff for continuing to pay down this debt and save the taxpayers money while they're doing it by not issuing those bonds and paying extra on interest. And as far as your point of it is malpractice to not have a scheduled payment before you do this, quite frankly, that can't be accomplished because we haven't borrowed the money yet. And you can roll your eyes all you want, and that's okay, because like you said, if we can't accept conflict and we can't have these tough conversations, then what are we doing here? So I stand by everything that I said. I again give kudos to the staff for keeping the taxpayers' money as the guiding focus in paying this debt back. And with that, I will yield back, Mayor.
Thank you.
We need to pass an emergency.
It's passed, it's in the ordinance, it's passed as an emergency. Any other comments? Nope.
I would move the passage of ordinance number 013-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Will the clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Vedder,
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons,
Aye.
Mayor Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Holman,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. Next is ordinance number O-14-25, the third reading.
An ordinance authorizing the establishment of the 2025 Bonds Capital Projects Fund.
Mayor and Commissioners, this ordinance establishes a capital projects bond fund. We are currently working on issuing some bonds for projects that we have on the schedule in the CIP. So we're looking at that. We're still working on the details of that. But this ordinance would actually set up the fund so that when we do issue those bonds, that those proceeds would go into that fund and then be used from there to do the projects.
Any comments from commissioners?
Mr. Mayor, if I may. Again, Jerry, just to clarify, all this ordinance does is creates a bank account. There's no money coming or going. It is simply creating the account to put the money in once the bonds are issued.
That is correct. This is actually just an account on the books. It's accounting to set up the account, and there's no money at all at this point. The bond issuance would have to come before the commission as an ordinance and go through the 3 readings and all that. So when we actually get that information together, everyone will know, and we'll bring that forward for your consideration.
And there's also, with the adoption of this ordinance, no creation of the list of projects that these funds will be going towards. That's not in here either, correct?
No, that is correct. The language for what projects and what will be done with the money would be in the language of the bond ordinance and the debt covenant. So that language would be in here, but not in here. This just creates the funds, the only thing it does.
Perfect. And when we do that determination of those projects, this one's for the city manager. We do a work session and a public meeting to get input from the public on those projects, correct?
Correct. The capital improvement program is a work session with the commission, and everything's published ahead of time and prioritized in terms of what we were able to fund in the years forward. It's a 5-year plan.
And one more to go down a little bit further. The committees, i.e. the park board and the utility board, they also will make recommendations for those capital projects as well, correct?
They do every year.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Ayubak.
Kim Heisler.
I think this is for Jerry, and this might have already been answered, but just to double check. So we do this every year, right? The bonds project funds. I guess my question was how was that done in the past, and are these accounts or whatever being established because it's different than last year, being they were 2024 and this is 2025, so we're establishing accounts now for these? Is that why they're different? And if not, are we able to use the accounts that exist? I mean, that, hopefully you can understand what that question means. Okay. And Frank, you had mentioned we have not in this, but later, that the list of projects will be later and coming up in the ordinance or the bond ordinance or covenants and stuff like that. And we also have a work session that the public can attend. Is that something the public can also speak at, or we can just attend and hear what's happening? And when these projects come up, the projects will come up through that work session, right? They won't just be popping up randomly, and we have to guess that's part of the bonds, right? That's another question. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's not something that we do regularly every year. I mean, we did issue debt last year as part of the Scott Drive project. And this year, we have a list, we're working on some projects that we want to fund with debt. So that's what this is about. It's not something done every year. It's just when it's necessary. It's just one of the tools of financing economic development and other city projects.
So it's not been done like that in the past?
Pardon?
Has it been done like that in the past?
Well, typically, if you issue debt, then you would create a fund to put that money in. I mean, you can't just issue debt and put it in the general fund.
Yeah.
So it has to go in a special fund. So the Ohio Revised Code allows us to create a bond, a capital projects bond fund to put money in when we issue debt, and then it's spent from there. It has to be accounted for from there. There are restrictions around that. We even have to account for, if we earn too much money, then we have to deal with the IRS. So there's a lot of restrictions around that. We have to track that very closely. So that's the idea of having a special fund for debt issuances.
Now, Mr. City Manager, is the work session something the public can speak at?
The work session is for the commission, and so that's an informational exchange between the administration and the commission prior to the next commission meeting that would have the ordinance, the 3 readings on whatever the chosen capital funds would be for the projects.
So it's information for everybody, not just...
Everybody gets to hear, but it's
And
not a
then
public participation. It's
public
strictly
can-
for the administration and for the commission to talk through all the projects.
And then the next meetings, the public can come and ask
That
questions.
is correct.
All right. Any other comments from commissioners? I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I would move that we adopt ordinance O-14-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can I have a roll call?
Commissioner Better?
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Holman?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras?
Aye.
All right. Last in old business, ordinance number O-15-25.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 56, Stormwater Management.
This is the second reading,
Yes.
just so we know.
Yes, this is the second reading. There have been no changes since the first reading. Everything in the packet is the same. The red letters and words are basically a dozen edits and 2 additions to the stormwater ordinance. And with one of the key things being the decrease in rates for 26, 27, and 28. I'll take any questions you have.
So the rates are going down, which is good. We like that.
And I believe it's also covering the replacement of several,
Manhole covers.
right, yes. Yeah, what,
Well, that's our big project next year. We still have the financial ability to carry out that project, even with this reduction in rates. I believe in the packet, there's also some long-term projections of, kind of the fund balance, how much we have going forward, even after some of those large infrastructure improvements. So we're still doing pretty good going forward and well above our cash reserve requirements.
Any other questions from commission?
I would, I know that this is an ordinance and it's supposed to have 3 readings. I would put forward a motion to waive the 3 reading rule. I don't know that we've ever had an ordinance, at least not while I've been on the commission, that's reducing rates.
That's reducing rates, yeah.
I don't think that we had any opposition to it last time. I will stand corrected. But I would motion that we waive the 3 reading rule and pass this tonight.
Second that. And moved and seconded to to waive the 3 reading rule.
Prior to taking a vote on that, council, can you review for us what is the voting thresholds for this sort of motion? Is it special or?
Yes, there would be a majority, a
Okay.
supermajority. So not just 3 of you, all four out of the 5.
Okay,
Mhm.
for
Would be
both
necessary.
making that amendment and then also to pass it?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, yes, so moved.
Moved and seconded. Can I have a roll call?
Commissioner Vetter?
She said better.
Yes, sir.
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Homan?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras?
Aye.
All right, now for approval of,
Do we have any comments? I wanted to waive it before we did comments if there were any,
okay.
so that it was aware.
Comments?
Is there any public comments?
No.
Oh, okay.
There were none. That's why I kept going.
Then I would move that we adopt ordinance O-15-25 with a waived third reading.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can I, clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Vetter?
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Homan?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras?
Aye.
All right.
Thanks for all your work on that, Kevin.
Yep. Now on to new business. Resolution number R-104-25.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of a grass truck chassis for the Piqua Fire Department.
Good evening. With this ordinance, we're requesting the approval of a purchase order for a grass truck chassis, and just in layman's speak, it's just a one-ton pickup truck with a gasoline engine to replace our 1993 Dodge that has been our grass truck for the last 32 years. And we are not purchasing the new pump and tank for that. We purchased that last year because the 31-year-old pump and tank that was in that truck died last year, and we had to replace it at that time. We will be having, in a couple of weeks, at the next meeting, a proposal for the remainder of this purchase, which is a bed, a flatbed for this truck, and the installation of the old equipment onto the new chassis. We would bring that together all at one time, but we're able to get a substantial savings on the purchase of the chassis by making that at this time instead of waiting until October to do that. So this ordinance proposes the expenditure of $45,360 for that one-ton Dodge pickup truck to put the grass truck equipment onto. If you have any questions about that purchase, I'm more than happy to answer anything you've got.
Well, it looks like in the budget, you actually budgeted 64,000. So again, moving ahead produces some savings to the citizens.
Yes, sir. That other, it's 18,000 thereabouts will be for the remainder of the project, just to finish that grass truck up. And I expect to be back in October with that proposal at that time.
I can only imagine what a pickup truck cost in 1993 as opposed to today, but.
We bought a good one in 1993.
Yeah, is this one going to get 32 years out of it?
That was a Dodge with a Cummins engine. That was a good choice at the time.
Great engine.
Chief, while I'm very happy that we were replacing the truck from 1993, and you're coming back in the next meeting for the rest of this truck. Can we expect any additional resolutions this year to purchase or replace any of the other trucks, whether it be engines, ambulances?
We don't believe we have anything in the capital this year for that. The capital proposals, the CIP plan submittals are in, and there's substantial submittals for capital in 2026. And we may have some reappropriations that need to happen in 2025, just due to the extreme cost of vehicle maintenance and repairs that we've had this year. But I don't expect any other capital request for 2025.
Can you just indulge me here for one more minute and foreshadow what some of those requests for 26 may be?
Oh, yes, sir. As far as apparatus, that would be an engine, a medic, and a ladder. The ladder truck being the 2001 ladder truck, engine being the 1997 engine 22, and the ambulance being, we just purchased an ambulance this year, and we have those on a 4-year replacement schedule. So we would order that new ambulance in 2026 with the arrival of its replacement to be expected in 2029. Really, all of those would be expected in 2029. In the last 5 years, really, since the COVID-19 time, fire apparatus replacement timeline has been stretched out immensely. The fact we're able to buy a grass truck and have it within a couple of months is pretty incredible, but really only because that's a, commercially available, normal style pickup truck. But all of the other ambulance and fire apparatus all have a multi-year timeline on them, and the cost have increased astronomically. If you haven't caught it in the news, there's actually a lawsuit right now between La Crosse, Wisconsin, and several of the large apparatus manufacturers because of the cost increase and the possibility that there may have been some collusion between different manufacturers. So it's a big deal that all municipalities are struggling with by all means. But yes, sir, that's between $4.5 and $5 million for those fire apparatus requests in 2026.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Any other comments from commissioners? There are no public comment cards.
Mayor, I would move that we adopt resolution number R-104-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Last on our agenda is newly added R-105-25. You don't have it?
No, I don't have it. I know what it is, I just don't.
I know.
A resolution accepting the suspension of the Commissioners' Committee on the Fire Training Facility.
This resolution was requested by Commissioner Holman, and this was brought forward tonight to accept the decision by the Commissioners Committee on the Fire Training Facility to suspend their activities. It also includes provisions regarding their appointed counsel and raising the amount of money that the commission would approve regarding what would be paid to council.
And ma'am, just so I understand this correctly, if we're going to summarize this resolution, it is essentially to recognize the fire committee's
Decision.
self-made decision to suspend their activities and to pay their attorney's bills in full so that we have fulfilled that obligation.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Do we have it's their total bill 19,000?
I believe Jerry has the final number, but I believe it's $18,645.50, but I'm not sure if I have the right number. But that was total over the lifetime of the committee, of the attorney being on the, not just this past invoice.
Yeah, Mayor and Commissioners, so the 19,000, it was 18,600 and some that needs to be approved by the commission. The commission had previously approved up to 10,000. The final bill is 8,500. 8549. So that's what we currently owe. And that will pay us in full.
Paid. No comment cards on this.
I'll just say that when the committee informed us of their decision to suspend, I know that they did not make that decision lightly, and we are not accepting it lightly. I can only say thanks to the members that participated in that, but that by no means is enough to convey the gratitude that we have for their service to the community.
With that, I'll need a motion.
Mayor, I move that we adopt resolution number R-105-25.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
Hold on.
I would request a recorded vote.
All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vedder,
Aye.
Commissioner Simmons,
Aye.
Mayor Lee,
Aye.
Commissioner Holman,
Aye.
Commissioner DeBras.
Aye.
All right, that concludes the business portion. City Manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. I'm pleased to announce the Rock Piqua Food and Truck Music Festival that'll take place this Saturday. It's being put on by the Piqua Arts Council on Main Street, Piqua, and it's a free concert with music and food trucks. It's featuring Cadillac McSwain from 4:30 to 6, Reflection from 6 to 7:30, and the headliner is Kyle Elliott from 8 to 10 p.m. It's the last of the series for the summer, and so we're very pleased that they're going to have 3 bands up there. And lastly, on Saturday, October 11th, at the Public Works Facility at 859 South Main Street, the city will be holding a Touch-A-Truck. They're going to have several vehicles, including fire trucks, police, SWAT, tow trucks, school bus, cranes, snowplows, and tractors. And that'll be available from 10 to 11 a.m. For Century Friendly, and thereafter for the kids to take a look at the equipment close up. And that's the end of my report.
How many food trucks are going to be there?
I'm not sure of the count, but there's going to be several food trucks there.
Interesting. Okay. All right, we'll next go into commissioners' reports. Commissioner Holman.
I believe I said all I needed to say tonight.
Thank you. Commissioner Vedder.
Couple of quick comments. Number one, we continue to have a spay and neuter program contract, but I understand that we're starting to have some problems with stray dogs as well. And we've unfortunately had a couple of situations where people have actually dumped animals on the bike path. And so I think we're attempting to deal with that problem. It has a slightly different problem than cats, but nonetheless not very nice. I think we have had some conversation about bulk pickup, and I think at this stage, if you have concerns for bulk pickup, please be informed that people need to wrap those things for pickup, and then city staff will be taking care of those kind of things. If we do not have compliance on those, referrals will be made to co-compliance office for the pickup. So
Citation.
yeah, to resolve the issue. We continue to have concerns for the Moat Park building. We have not scheduled a public meeting on that, but it's my feeling that we need to have a public comment session about the future use of Moat Park building. We have a busy schedule between now and the end of the year, but we're hoping we can have some activity on that one. So with that, I will yield.
Okay. Commissioner.
Mr. Obendorfer, I have 2 things for you. The first one is more of an ask than anything. And the ask is Joe Wilson, who former commissioner, who is actively involved and runs Neighbors Helping Neighbors. We were able to help them, we being the city, with some funding for this summer's projects. And he did send me a list of everything they were able to accomplish. I wish that, I thought that he would have been here this evening so he could have relayed that himself. And I hope he'll be here next year so he can tell us all the good work that he did. But the reason I'm bringing this up is one of the things that we had talked about is doing some type of an event or open house with Neighbors Helping Neighbors and some of the other service type groups here, either before a commission meeting, after a commission meeting, to help residents know what opportunities are out there to volunteer and help out. So this is my saying it out loud to remember sometime in the fall, winter, as we're heading to the weather breaking, if we could look to schedule that that would be greatly appreciated. And then my second issue, it was brought up with a constituent, and apparently noticed an increase in truck traffic on Park Avenue. It's my understanding that we had done studies in the past on that and had tried to stem that flow. Can you just tell me where we are with that, what's going on, and what we may be able to do to help resolve this?
Certainly. So we've been doing traffic studies periodically every other year, and not really noticed an increase in truck traffic. And basically what it is, it's local deliveries. And so they're supposed to stay on the state routes, which would mean they would come around to go down Covington instead of down Park. The drivers don't always adhere to the law on the truck route, and they'll take the shortcut. And I believe it's problematic just as when they cut through downtown on Main Street. What we've been discussing is putting some signs up, and while the truckers don't always read or abide by the signs, it could potentially help. And so to avoid adding additional signs that could be considered roadway hazards because they're not regulatory and required, we could find sign posts that are already erected and potentially add some truck signs on that.
Let's do that.
Assuming my colleagues would agree with me,
Let's do that.
Can we make that happen?
Our sign shop is able to make those signs. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You,
Second.
third.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I will yield back.
All right. And our final commissioner?
Oh, that's right, you gotta go last. It's all right, it's all good. So let's see, I know Val's gonna come up and she has some very serious stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna talk about the light stuff. On Saturday, October 4th, at 8:30 in the morning, there's gonna be a start of a race down there at Lock 9. It's for Operation Veteran and Caregiver Support. Their Hero Harvest 5K. It's going to be going down the bike path towards Peterson, and they're not going to go all the way to Peterson, but they're going to turn around and come back. So 2.5K out, 2.5K back. And I'm pleased to announce that myself and my friends from the Miami County Amateur Radio Club, we're going to be out there doing comms. And so
All right.
if you see us out there going Roger, Roger into our, you can tell that we're having fun. But anyways, definitely, it's a good thing you won't get me to run because I have COPD. Sorry. But I'd definitely kick in for a t-shirt. Let's see. Secondly, I meant to ask you, Mr. City Manager, when is that concert? When is that concert? The one that you...
This Saturday is Rock Piqua, September 20th.
I've known those Reflection Boys since they were kids learning to play guitar. They're the tops. And as for Mr. McSwain, he has been an actor because I was with him when we did The Crucible at Edison. And so he's a very talented young man, definitely worth going to see. Pretty sure that's all I've got. 2 weeks from last night, so on the 29th, at Stonebridge Church over here on East Green Street, there is a guy coming out to play, and it's a free concert. His name is Mitch McVicker. If any of you are familiar with a guy by the name of Rich Mullins, who wrote a lot of great Christian music, Mitch and Rich were best friends, collaborators, and Mitch was in the accident that killed Rich. He was in the hospital in and out for like 6 months. And he went back to doing music. Last item, you guys know my wife's in hospice, right? Well, she fell asleep this afternoon as I was leaving. I happened to notice there was half of a Twinkie sticking out of her mouth. And so I said, honey. And she didn't move. I said, honey. She didn't move. I finally went, honey! She opened her eyes. And I told her, please finish what's in your mouth, and then you can go back to sleep. I spoke to her violently, not because I was mad at her, not because I was going to hurt her, not because I had any intent of any harm. I could have walked out and let her choke, but instead I spoke to her violently. Thank you for being vociferous with us. Please don't stop. Now I yield back.
Okay. My comments, Piqua football. Love Piqua football. I have a standing bet with the city of Troy's mayor. And the winner of the Piqua Troy football game gets to present the loser a shirt of their town, and I have to wear it. So I'll be wearing a Troy shirt, taking a picture, and it'll be plastered all over Facebook. I've had my time where Piqua's won, so I don't have a problem with that. So just sent her a message and seen if she was free tomorrow to get that done. Another note, Layman football is 3-0, 4-0, 3-0. They're undefeated, and they've had one of their players nominated for Dayton Daily News Athlete of the Week, so doing pretty well. So other than that, I don't have much to say. Get out and see a football game. Enjoy the weather. It's going to be warm next couple of days, so watch the heat. Other than that, we will move on to non-agenda public.
We have to adjourn from the business agenda.
We'll move on, but yep, we will adjourn. So, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, I move that we adjourn from the business agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can I? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. We are adjourned. Now, non-agenda public comment.